Okay. Dik. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this new and first episode of Roots of the Podcast. My name is Gio the New Kid, and I welcome you guys to this new platform. I do a different platform right now because I also have a platform with MJ, and he's going to be in the show as well later on. And we have Roots of Barbering, right? But I thought the other day, like, hey man, I want to change things up because life is not only about barbering, right? So I thought, why not give a platform to other people? Why not interview other people with different professions, different cultures? And there's so much more. So I got curious and I thought, like, you know what? Let's do this, you know? And this is why I'm here and bring you up to my first guest. And that's a special one for me because she's actually my wife and she's my business partner as well. And I always say, behind the story is always a story. So let's listen up to the story of Miss Red, aka a breath fresh of hair in Rotterdam. And let's bring her up. Hey Maartje.
Hey there, hi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being the first guest here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
nervous?
If I'm nervous, no, I'm not nervous. I talk to you every day.
So, being my first guest, you know, it's gonna be a pretty open conversation, and let us talk first about who you are, what you do, and how did you came to where you are right now.
Yes. Well, my name is Miss Red, aka Maartje. I live in Rotterdam. Right now, I've lived here for a few years already, and 37 years old, married to you. We have 2 doggies, and I own my own hair salon / barbershop, also with you. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yeah, that was a quick one. Quick one. So let me ask you, how did you become a hairdresser?
Well, actually, I when I was younger, I never really knew what I wanted to do. I always found that very difficult. And so first I did the MAVO, and when I was done with the MAVO, I felt like, I don't know what to do, so let's do the HAVO. So then I did that, and I had no idea why I was doing the HAVO because I had no profession in mind of what I wanted to do when I was older. And so I started skipping school, and eventually my parents found out, of course, like they always do. And so they gave me a choice, like, okay, you're going to finish your high school or you're going to do something else. So I decided to do something else. And kind of lazy me that I was, I felt like, okay, what's the closest school with kind of fun educations? And that was a hairdressing school. So I decided to do that. So that's how I made my decision on how close the school was.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Did you always did this profession, or did you have different professions as well, or different career tries?
Yeah, no, I also did some other stuff because, I never knew what I wanted to do. So I think because hairdressing school is 2 years, but I didn't really finish it. Because I wanted to do something else, and then I went to nursing school, I think for 1.5 years, and then I felt like, no, this isn't it either. Then I went to do social work, and then I thought it was kind of fun, but I needed a sidekick because I just needed like a little bit extra money. And a friend of mine at the time was working at a salon, which I really liked, and she was like, oh, I can hand in your resume for you and talk you up a little bit. And that worked out pretty well because I worked at my old job for 13 to 14 years. And so yeah, that's how I got back into hairdressing again. So yeah, I've been around.
But you also said like you didn't finish school. Where did you finish it then? In the salon itself, or
Well, the hairdressing school, no, I didn't finish that. But when
okay,
when I was working at my old salon, there was lots of training over there. So I completely finished my training working over there.
okay. How was it back then? Because it's 20 years ago, right?
13
Then,
years ago,
oh, 13 years.
14
Sorry,
years ago.
sorry, sorry.
How was it back then? It's
Me,
different than now. At least I think it is,
okay,
because at least I got, yeah, drilled. You had to search for your own models, and I needed lots of models every week, 4 to 5 models every week. If you didn't have a model, then they would send you out on the street looking for models or whatever. There was never really an excuse, and which I think is really good, because nowadays sometimes, I don't know, I think it could be a little bit stricter, and people just fool around a little bit. And but back in the days, that was really not an option. You needed to have your models at every week, and if you didn't have them, you were fucked. So yeah, pretty
yeah,
hardcore, but I
yeah,
think that's the way to learn it, right?
yeah. I think practical things are always nicer to practice them,
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard work, I mean, like you have to put a lot of hours in it, right? You have to.
Yeah.
It's 10,000 hours, I think, for learning a little bit of the basics, right?
Is that
And
so?
then,
Oh, I never knew that.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just a number that you heard with a lot of professions.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a repeating process, right?
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in one day, and it's certainly really diverse, especially now, especially with social media and everything. Right now, it's level is up way high, everybody, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to get there, but
Yeah.
you have to enjoy the ride to that
Yeah. Yeah.
certain place
You
where
have
you
to
gotta
enjoy
go.
the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think you also don't want to go too fast or something, because
No, no,
learning a skill can take time,
yeah.
and that's okay. But yeah,
Yeah, and sometimes you cannot overlook steps,
mm-hmm.
because that's a process as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes the pressure of social media and all society, brings people up like, oh, I gotta do it fast. No, man, you got time.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you really enjoy what you do, it doesn't matter how long it takes, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Um.
true. Yeah.
So for how long are you a business owner or self-employed?
Um. Well, officially last September.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is it about 8 months or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 8 months. But when you started to shop, I was along for the ride, but I did everything behind the scenes a little bit. But that I started working in the shop and also as an owner. Yeah, that's about 8 months ago. So yeah.
So how is it like? Because you have 13 years of experience working for the same boss.
Yeah.
You learned there, you learned everything.
Yeah.
How is it to spread your wings and how does it feel? Was it,
Spread your wings and fly. Yeah. Felt really, really good. It was really, it was time. It was really time. I think I worked at my old salon for a little bit too long, because I kept getting older and older, and all my colleagues keep getting younger and younger. And it's just such a different feeling to work for yourself, or to work together with you and really build something for your own. That's such a different feeling, and it feels really rewarding and really good. So yeah, it was time. But yeah, really, really good decision.
yeah, but you always did the backside of the shop, right?
Uh-huh.
You do the financial stuff, so you always know how things go in a way.
Yeah, yeah,
The only thing is like you have to be ready, right? Like
yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
I
your
think that
time,
was it.
this
I
is your
think I had to be
moment,
ready
and
for it.
uh, because nowadays, a lot of people think like, yo, I go to school, after school, I just open up my shop, but there's a lot of things that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad, that I had a couple of jobs where I had like experience as manager or anything like that,
Yeah.
and learn from it, because you will fall down someday, somehow.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
hard in the beginning, but how was it for you when I came working in the shop?
For me, it was kind of natural, right? I had to
Yeah.
adapt a little bit for me for how to cope with certain things emotionally, and also Remy have like a certain routine what we do every day, and now suddenly somebody's there doing ladies, so that
Mm-hmm.
also has to do with a new routine. But everything went really smoothly, and a lot of people will ask me like, "How is it with your partner? Is that your partner?" I'm like, "Yep." I said it's I said like I don't have problems with her because everything with us is like built on trust and honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if certain things and like separating like the business side and the personal side, really.
Yeah, I think that's really important. We don't really, of course, sometimes we discuss like home stuff at work, but most of the time we don't. Yeah, I think that's kind of important.
Yeah, it is. I think a lot of things you have to adapt. You have to willing to adapt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also sacrifices that you have to make for each other, right? Sometimes you have to adapt, and make certain choices that you probably would not do if it was you. But sometimes somebody else can look at things differently, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that gives you new perspectives of certain things in life and how you weigh and how you should run the business. And
Yeah.
especially when you have the men and the women, they are so totally different in thinking. you know, that's also a big thing. But I do enjoy it because everything goes so naturally, and we got lovely customers. I mean, like, come on,
Yeah. Yeah,
without
we
them,
really do.
we don't have a pleasant time, right, in the shop. Because
Yeah.
for everybody, it's like a living room, right?
Yeah. It's the first thing I noticed. The customers are really, really, really nice. Yeah.
So how did you came? Did you bring your own customers, or did you have to build up? What kind of place is it? Can you give us a ride to that?
Mm, well, I was very fortunate. To be honest, because with starting for yourself, always brings. Yeah, I think the first thing that everybody thinks, when they start for yourself, okay, am I gonna have enough business? And that's always a thing, but you just have to go for it and see for yourself. And of course, you can, advertise for it and stuff like that. And social media is a good one for that. But I think in our business, people talking about you is the best advertisement you can have. And yeah, yeah, like I said, I started in September, and then I thought like, oh, I probably can start out easy, not too busy in the beginning. But what was it? I think the first the first week was already totally booked. That was great. That was really crazy. And then I think the second week was a little bit slower. The third week was a little bit busier, and I think after that it just kept on going, and it's super busy now. And yeah, I think that has to do with a little bit of social media, but for the rest, it's really my old customers that I brought. Lots of new customers coming in because they always, what I hear a lot that women walk by the shop and they always thought like, oh, this is such a nice place, but yeah, it's only for men. But now they see like, oh, I can make an appointment too. Or lots of women, from customers that you and Remy do, and girlfriends, wives, or whatever, and they send them to me, and yeah, it just went crazy fast. So I'm very, very lucky with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think word of mouth is goes really fast
I know,
in positive
yeah.
ways and in negative ways. But I think if you do 100% for your job and something what you love, it's super dope to do, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we do appreciate that. I appreciate so much. And yeah, for the people that don't know it, I opened George Chop Shop in 2018, and since then, it was like a barbershop. I had a couple of employees, loved ones, man. Did a good job, and they work in different places right now. And Remy and me was always from the beginning over there. And I think after the 3 lockdowns, things change, the world changed, perspective changed, work changes, opinions change. And we trimmed down to just the two of us. And, after the second lockdown, we started thinking about things and talk to each other like, hey, man, what's the situation with you? How do you feel? And then last year Maartje came with it, and because it was like a barbershop, and then coming with a woman there working, it changes vibes, right? But the funny thing is, it's like it's still the barbershop, and it's still that living room what we made in the beginning. There's only a little bit more diversity with women in it, and it gives such a cool vibe because it's we have a up level and a down level, and it's totally separated. I don't you if you want to hear the conversation from upstairs, you can hear them, but if you don't, you
If you
just
don't.
listen to the music. You just listen to the music and have conversation with the customers and the colleagues, right? So that was kind of cool. And after the third lockdown, things got really busy, and we're fortunate about that.
Yeah.
And still thankful. It's hard work, but as you do it with love, everything is gonna fall into pieces, in places.
Please. Yeah.
In places. So I want to get a little bit into you because with that said, with all the things that you have built up already in this like small part of your career and life,
Yeah.
what is your mental state in this? You wanna talk about
My
that?
mental state.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I think when I was, what was it, about 25, 26, and a little bit before that, the years before that, I used to struggle a little bit with being depressed and, all that comes with it. And I got to a certain point that I couldn't live my life normally anymore because I couldn't go to work anymore. And then I realized, okay, I really need to do something about it because that's not good. And I also have mental illness running in the family. So, then you just need to take your responsibility. At least that's how I see it. And, work on that and see how you can fix things for yourself and the people around you. So I started to go to a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and lots of talks with them. And then they gave me the, how do you call that again? And anyway, I found out that I had a bipolar disorder.
Yeah, so you've been diagnosed now.
Diagnosed, sorry, that was the word I was looking for. Thank you. I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it didn't come as a surprise because my dad had it as well. And so yeah, on the other hand, it kind of sucks, of course, but on the other hand, it's also a kind of a good thing, like, okay, this is what's going on, this is what I can do about it. And so I think from about 26 started lots of therapy and finding the right meds, which can really be totally totally awful. But we worked out. We kind of worked that out.
You say it could be pretty awful. Why is that?
Well, the thing is, bipolar disorder, of course, because you go like this, and if you're depressed, you have so many medicines for being depressed, because it's kind of like you're low the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you have bipolar disorder, you go like up and down and up and down. And if you give an antidepressant to a bipolar person, they will go into a manic state the whole time. So you need other prescription for that, and there's that's pretty difficult to find the right prescription for you and how much you need. And so I struggle with certain medicines, because you had to try out some stuff, and it takes a while to have the right doses.
Because the difference between manic and depression is what you explain is like when you're depressed, you're more in the downward.
Yeah.
And you stay in the down.
Yeah.
And with manic, you just like go up and down, up and down.
Yeah. If you're manic, then you're constantly up.
What do you mean by up?
Well, that's very different for everybody, because you have like different stages of being manic, because I didn't really recognize myself in it, because I always had my dad as a example, and he could be very manic in spending money and being just totally, well, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but just being very weird. And I never saw that in myself, but mine were more like a little bit lower. So yeah, that's also hard to see for yourself, because you think by yourself, I'm doing totally good, I'm feeling good, I feel good, looking good, spending money, stuff like that. You have plans and everything going on, so you don't feel sick, and that's the shitty thing about it. And then suddenly you drop down, and then you start to realize all the stupid shit you done when you were manic. And that's how you go along the whole time.
And the medicines that you take, they just like flatten things out for you.
So they flatten things out a little bit, but not too much, luckily.
So you're not like a zombie, or you still are just you.
I'm just you. You don't think I'm a zombie, right?
No. It's just
so
like,
my meds are all pretty nice. I can remember the first ones that I had; those were really awful. I had the feeling like, okay, if somebody will get shot right in front of me, it won't matter to me. So then I realized, okay, that's not good. But no, I can function totally fine on these meds.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Because I'm not fond of medicines, but
no, me neither.
I do believe that when it's helpful, and it takes you on a certain level, and you definitely gotta take them, And, fortunate, when was your last episode? Because
well, that's quite a while. Yeah, so that's really, really, really nice. I think, you remember when we started dating, and I hadn't really filled you in about all the things in my life. So you were like, what the fuck is this?
It kind of freaked me out, because I haven't, like, what the hell is this? Is it something about me? Did I do something wrong? And you were crying, and all sorts of thoughts were running through your head, and I was like, oh my God, am I nuts? Is she nuts? What the hell is going on?
Well, they both are nuts, but
but it was a good experience, even though it was still scary, because I didn't thought that things could be like that. But it was also like, didn't understand it, because you're always happy and all that thing, and suddenly something was like, whoa, this is weird. And then you suddenly talked about it, because that was your biggest secret, I think.
Yeah.
Well, not a secret, but the last thing that you wanted to really talk about, because that's really personal as well.
Yeah.
Because not everybody understands it that well, right? Because people think that people are crazy or something like that just because they have different like
Emotion, yeah.
mind
Well, yeah,
mind
I
and
can understand
emotions, you
it,
know.
that because if you've never been depressed, it's very hard to understand because you
Mm-hmm.
just think like, yeah, but you can, go out for a walk or just do something, or tomorrow you'll feel better, but it's just not how it works. Yeah.
No, I totally understand that, you know.
Mm.
But since then, you know, we've been into a crazy ride, and it's been so fucking positive, you know. It's like, you know, I'm grateful for that, you know.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, you know, in these last couple of years where we spend our lives together, and you know, for me, you know, looking at you, it's strong, you know. I think you know, I haven't saw a strong person like that, you know. I mean, like, you come from a certain path in your life and come to a next one,
Mm.
and then to cope with everything what you have right now, and you know, really work on your mindset and everything. I'm like blessed, you know. And also, you know, if you didn't came in my life, the shop wouldn't be there, the house wouldn't be there, the
Yeah.
dogs wouldn't be there. I didn't have no jobs in foreign countries. Went to all sorts of continents in the world. Oh my
Yeah.
God, man! You know, yeah, man, I do appreciate that, and thank you for like sharing this with us. You know.
Oh, so
Yeah.
sweet. But yeah, it's true. But we both don't believe in coincidence, right? It was really meant to be that we met each other that night. I know for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. You know, it's also you know, you also gotta grab the chances, right, that you get, and
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes you have to just swim in the deep and just like see where everything goes, right?
Yeah.
And especially what we have, I mean, like our relationship as well. I mean, like that bring us so tight together, you know, and
Mm.
understanding each other so very well, you know. I just have to look at you and I know directly, and you especially with me because
Yeah.
I'm like an open book. And
Yeah.
it's an enjoyment, you know, just see us both grow in a mature way, and not too fast, not too slow, you know. And yeah, it's crazy, you know. How do you feel about our relationship? What are your experiences in
My
the
experience.
relationship, the shop, and
Um. Well, think. I know for sure that I learned so much from you, and like we were talking about it before. I just had like one episode since we've been together, so I know for sure that also being with you was probably something that I really needed in my life, to help me out with some stuff, and you gave me so much more confidence, and I think the things that happened in our relationship in the beginning made me way stronger, and connecting on a whole other level with you than I've ever done with anyone before. That's kind of a big change and a big difference, and something really, really good. And especially what I've learned with you or with us being together is that you can um, really build your own relationship the way you want it. You can just, do what, well, that sounds crazy, but I mean, you can do whatever you want to do in your relationship. There are no certain rules or how it's supposed to go. If you just flow together and if you can create your relationship together and how you want it, that's just totally awesome. It's the best feeling ever. So,
yeah,
yeah.
and you set your boundaries, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like
feel very loved and very, how do you say that? Very at home, but also very free at the same time. Yeah.
yeah, that's the same thing here, right? I mean, like from the beginning, we started like dating and talking about things, our love life, fantasies, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm fortunate that I could travel a lot and everything. And I was like, with all the relationship and all the experience that I had, I didn't want to be like a bird trapped in a cage, right? And
Mm,
I just wanted to be honest. And
yeah.
from that moment, we start talking and also start discovering, and then we ended up like having like a sort of a open relationship. And through the years, we really start sharing each other our thoughts and our experiences and emotions, and we did more things, and yeah, it's been a crazy ride. It's not a for all you people that, if you have an open relationship, it's not a green card to fuck everybody.
No, not at all. That's not how it
No,
works.
that's not how it works, because for us it was like, it's kind of a spiritual thing as well. I mean, like for me, sharing my love to others or with you with others, that's a great feeling. It's not for everybody, but it's
No, of course
something,
not. No.
you cannot describe. It's
Yeah, I think you really have to, um, yeah, yeah, not do it because, like you say, it's not for everybody. But I can understand that for monogamous people, it's hard to understand because lots of people always think like, yeah, but don't you get jealous? And well, how about jealousy and stuff like that? But that's just not really how it works. When you learn so much from being open or polyamorous because at least that's what I've discovered in especially like last year that your jealousy isn't really an emotion. It comes from insecurity, and that insecurity comes from you. So you have to figure out like, okay, why am I insecure now? Where is that coming from? So you learn so much about yourself already about when you're in an open relationship. Even just for that, I would well not advise it to everybody, but really, it's such an eye opener.
during the lockdowns, it was so crazy to see that like we start exploring things,
Yeah.
start growing, and you also in as an individual that is bipolar,
Mm-hmm.
just to get over that and
Mm-hmm.
get different state of minds and come with ideas and come with a lot of things where you think like, oh, hey, this is interesting. Hey, yeah, why not? You know, because of course it's not normal for a lot of people, but what is normal nowadays, right? Everything is not normal, I think.
I don't know what is normal.
Yeah.
Nobody's normal, and normal is kind of boring, isn't it? So yeah.
So tell us about your emotional trip through all this.
Um, through all what the
Through the
lockdowns or
lockdowns,
relationships or the
the
shop,
relationship, everything, because
everything. Um, well, I can really clearly remember when we started the shop like 4 years ago. Um, um, because you're always like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and um, and I thought like, okay, but how how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna open the shop? And but I knew that we would manage because I don't know, we were pretty good under pressure both, I think. But it was just such a crazy time because you were in the States, you were working, and I was doing stuff in the shop, and then you came back, and then we had to finish the shop. So it was all just one crazy ride, and sometimes a bit overwhelming. But I think everybody that starts the business can say it is overwhelming because you have to arrange so much stuff, and you're always, at least I was always scared like, okay, did I do everything? Aren't I forgetting something? So yeah, it was kind of hectic, but I think we did quite well. And it's just always learning for the last couple of years, just always learning, like the um, yeah, how do you say that? Kind of like the boring side jobs that come with having your own shop. But I actually found out that I kind of quite like to do it. I don't mind doing the administration and stuff like that and the taxes. And I always thought that'd be really boring, but I kind of like it. So that turned out pretty good. And yeah, so yeah, I think you can describe our whole business relationship, our own relationship, and every feeling or emotion that comes with it, kind of like a roller coaster, maybe.
Yeah, it
So
could be.
still up and down,
Yeah.
but yeah, but like good up and down, and yeah.
Yeah, you always discover new things
Hmm.
from each other. And I always say, like, why you want to rush things, you know? I mean, if we meant to be or want to be together, or if you wanna be with a person, you got a lot of time with each other, right? Or
Yeah, you
hopefully,
always say that.
yeah. I mean, like,
Like I am.
hopefully,
Yeah.
um, you know, I just learned through times that sometimes, like, ease down, man. Not always has to be like tuck 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 tuck, and
Mm,
sometimes you just need to, like, slow, man, and just you have to enjoy and look back, sit back,
yeah.
and say to yourself, "Damn!" Look back
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
enjoy, like, yo, look how far I came already,
Yeah.
and don't intend to forget that because that's
Yeah.
something so important. Just also learn to enjoy, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what we talked about a lot, and that helped us with our relationship, exploring the relationship, being open, and be honest to each other. Because what you all learn is, like, it's a base. You're my base. That's home run. That's the home. That's start. And whatever I do, doesn't matter what it is, I always come back home to base. And
Yeah.
if that is well and is right, everything else fall into place,
Everything
right?
falls into place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so wonderful, with all the experience that we went through, with also with your things. It
Mm.
helped me grow, like, oh, right. And then I start, like, confronting myself in the mirror, and all the stuff that I was in, right? And that's something beautiful what life can bring you. And for me, it's you, and I'm grateful for that. And it's lovely to share our story, your story,
Yeah.
because I think it gives different perspectives. How you are standing in life and where you want to go in life. I mean, like,
Yeah.
things can change, but be open for changes, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
change is good. Um, don't hold on to
Well, yeah.
traditions, because life is so big and huge. I mean, like, you can have respect for the tradition. Don't get me wrong, I'm a traditional guy as
Oh
well,
no.
but still,
Yeah.
we have
No,
to.
I was just gonna say, because on the other hand, I'm kind of a traditional girl. We got married. I took your last name because I find that very important. And we kind of have a traditional household, but for the rest, we really just make our relationship the way we want it. So yeah, I think it can go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, right? If there's nothing good about disloyalty or dishonesty, because it's everything with that had negative is always a baggage, right? And for me, what I learned is, like, I always work with this circle where you think, hey, I got a problem, right? Or a worry, yeah, because we always live with worries. And if you have a problem, if you can do something about it, do something about it. Why worry?
Mhm.
If you have a problem, you cannot do something about it. Why worry? There's so much things we worry about, and different, like, signals from all sorts of things, right? Everything is so fast. Social media is so fast. Life is so fast. Work is so fast. We stop caring about us, yeah. And I think like we have to stop worrying, just see where it goes, because in all different countries they have different worries, but that's
Yeah.
more about food, right? How to survive, man.
Yeah. How am I gonna get
But
water today? Stuff like
yeah,
that. I
exactly,
know.
so you always have to think about like, hey man, is it that bad for me, or could somebody else have it worse, and I think that's something what has to be
Yeah.
brought up in this attention as
Yeah.
well.
Well, you know what it is. We have so much we do around here, or so much that we take up on ourselves. That's why we worry even more. But it's half of it is just nonsense, as you think about it now. Because if you just have a simpler life, and for sure, I know that's way better. Because then you worry way less. Because we have so much to do around here. Or at least we feel the pressure that you have to do so many things here in this life. But if you just drown out the noise, like social media and watching the news all the time, stuff like that, and feeling that obliged to do everything and knowing everything, that takes, that helps a lot, I think, because it's,
Yeah, because we can read books, right? I
yeah,
mean, like, the internet is there to do great stuff,
yeah,
but it also get bad
yeah.
influences, right?
It's just how you
So
use it.
search for the right things,
Mm-hmm.
spend your time doing and learning things.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was bad at learning, man, back in the day. Oh my God. But the older you get, the more enjoyable things are, and the more nosy you get. I always was a nosy person, but
Yeah. And also noisy.
noisy as well. Yeah. Yeah, but I took as well like you did, like turn off the noise,
Yeah.
and just like focus on different things. What you like, what is your uh great, what you want to be, what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I could be running like a thug or anything like that. Easy, but is that really what you want to achieve, And I think that's also what we have spoken about, like, hey man, our love is to share as well, right? And we do that in our profession, we do that in our personal life, and it's only been great. And this is why I wanted to let you be the first guest here, just to share the love.
Share the love with everybody and start up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.
It's really interesting, I want to thank you, for your little bit of insight of your life, our lives, and
yeah, of course.
Very thankful.
Yeah.
Hope you listeners enjoyed this conversation, and check out Miss Red on our Instagram page. I want to thank you, and I'm gonna close up the podcast and say goodbye to you. And again, thank you very much, Miss Red.
You're welcome.
See you later.
Bye.
So I hope you guys enjoyed in this first ever episode of Roots of the Podcast. Subscribe us here. Let us know your thoughts on the episode and what you'd like to hear for the next time, or suggestions. Always welcome. Enjoy, live life, and love, peace, and happiness. See you soon. Bye-bye.